Hello everyone, and welcome to the University of Colorado at Boulder Graduate Course in Performance Management. As managers and leaders in organizations, this course should be of particular interest to you. I'm Dr. Joyce Henderson. It's my pleasure to be your instructor for the next 7 weeks. In my work at Marriott International and Volunteers of America, I've designed and implemented performance management systems as well as individual performance evaluation tools at the team and individual level. I look forward to sharing some of my expertise and experience with you as we focus on the various topics throughout the course. In this overview presentation for the course, I'll share the course description, itemize some of the human capital initiatives directly related to performance management, review the learning outcomes, emphasize how the knowledge from the course will benefit you in your work as a manager and leader, explain my learning design, speak about the expectations for the engagement in the class, and finally, the next steps to get us on our way. This course focuses on organizational performance systems, individual performance appraisals, and the relationship of the two to other human capital activities and processes designed to achieve organizational success. When many think of a performance management system, they immediately think about individual performance appraisals. Performance appraisals are a critical element in our study of performance management, but we want to begin our study with the organization at large and how at a systems level we can effectively manage the performance of the entire organization to achieve its goals and mission. Think about if you were the founder or CEO of a business. Wouldn't you want to have some ways to ensure that all of the employees are working toward the success of the company? I think that you would, and I would for sure. We also, however, will focus on the individual performance feedback and appraisal in the course. It takes each and every employee to achieve the goals of the organization. We will look at present-day practices and where some of the trends in performance management are taking us. As with everything else in our lives, information technology has changed the way we collect data for performance management systems and also performance appraisals. It's also changed the way that the data are analyzed and communicated. And finally, for us to have synergy in the organization toward the important organizational goals, we will see how other human capital activities are important to performance management. This slide depicts some of the many HR-related initiatives. All these and more are important elements in the performance management of an organization. Think for a moment as we go through this slide about your own organization and reflect on how it recruits, hires, brings people on board, provides training, utilizes some type of a performance appraisal tool, rewards performance, and at times even disciplines and exits employees from the organization. These elements are generally apparent and known to you as a manager or leader, but the first step in the performance management process, conducting a job analysis, may not be something that you are familiar. It is absolutely critical to the process. So we will share information about the performance analysis in Module 2. It's a YouTube video that I think will be helpful to your understanding. The job analysis helps us complete all of the other items that you see on this chart. If we do not know what a person is expected to do in their position, we cannot recruit them properly, we cannot train them, and we definitely cannot give them feedback on their performance through an appraisal. Here are the learning outcomes for the course. By the end of our 7 weeks together, you should be able to explain performance management systems, describe the role of performance appraisals and coaching in a performance management system, should be able to evaluate, compare, and contrast varieties of performance appraisal tools, formats, and methods, should be able to share feedback about performance in a meaningful, effective, and motivational manner. You should be able to create SMART goals for performance plans. You may already know what SMART goals are, but we will cover them anyway. Also, you should be able to distinguish best practices of performance management systems. I've taught this course many times now, and I'm happy to report that the vast majority of students have fared extremely well on achieving all of these learning outcomes. Students are reporting that the course has opened their eyes at the ways in which feedback can be delivered more effectively, how their fears of addressing a troublesome employee have lessened, that they are excited to apply the knowledge from the course in their workplace, particularly some of the new trends in the use of information technology to make the feedback more frequent and the goals for the year more agile. In the class, as I mentioned, we will learn about and practice SMART goals. Each of you at the end of this course will prepare a SMART or smarter goal to apply the knowledge from the class or to continue to learn more about an area that is of interest to you. All students in the past have selected excellent goals, and I'm confident that yours will be too. Some of the SMART goals in the past classes have included recommending some changes to the appraisal system in their workplace. Others have planned to assess the legal aspects of performance appraisal in their workplace. And for still others, their goal has been related to sharing with their colleagues some of the tips that we learned to be a better coach. I look forward to hearing what each of your SMART goals will be at the end of our 7 weeks. So let's go back to how this course will benefit you. Some of the items that I just listed are some of the ways that it will. In addition, you should be able to develop competencies that you use as a manager or a leader for conducting meaningful and motivational feedback sessions, aligning performance criteria of the individual to the organization's goals. This course should help you build competencies in choosing appraisal formats and types of rating systems relevant to the uniqueness of your organization. And your competencies will build in being able to avoid rater errors, reducing legal risks, and linking rewards to the appraisals. In addition to the content that we cover in the class about performance management, students have shared with me that they also have developed skills in critical thinking, since you will post your own answers to the weekly discussion questions before being able to see others. Also, that they have enhanced their research and academic rigor, since the requirement in the class is for you to share sources for your information in support of the good information that you share in the class. You'll use in-text citations and also references. In addition, you will, as other students have told me, develop business writing and presentation skills through the assignments designed for the course. I hope some, if not all, of the items that I've just named will be ones that resonate with you. Grades, grades, grades. The necessary element of our academic program. This slide shares all of the requirements for the class in terms of your deliverables, including the discussions as well as the assignments. You will have 2 PowerPoint presentations, 1 memo of record, a literature review research paper, and a final exam. Each assignment has written instructions, and there is a grading rubric. There should be no doubt what is expected of you in the assignments, but I realize as much as I try, my written word sometimes is just not resonating with all of you. So if you have a question about any assignment, please place it in the questions forum for all may benefit. You may also send me an email if you feel that it's a more of a sensitive nature. If you prefer to ask your cohort how they're approaching the assignment, you may do that too. We do have a cohort chat room, so you can compare notes with each other if you like. Please know that I am here to help you, and I welcome any questions. That's why I'm in the course with you. Being resourceful is always a good trait, but I don't want you to waste any of your important time attempting to determine what is expected of you in an assignment. So please ask. I mentioned that I would cover my learning design. I think that is helpful for students to know why the course is designed in the way that it is. My learning design for the course is based on the theories and practices for the adult learner. That is each of you. We focus front and center on your individual learning, and we accomplish that by first providing you with the requisite reading material that has been curated specifically by me for this course, creating robust discussion questions regarding that material that you and your cohort will address in an academic dialogue, and then applying the theories and frameworks that we are studying in the course to your own workplace in order to bridge the link between theory and practice. If you are not currently working, you may use another organization, maybe in the past, or maybe a relative or a friend's organization, and learn about their organization so you can be able to apply the theories. Please know that if I pose a question to you in the discussion thread, and I most likely will every single week, please know that I'm not challenging your good thoughts, but I am questioning in order to expand the thinking or focus the discussion. I think that you'll find the learning design will create a robust learning experience, and I hope so. Just a little bit about expectations and logistics. I realize that each class has a little bit of a different expectation because we faculty have a little bit of a different style. So these are the expectations and the logistics, just so you will know them as we begin the course. The initial answers to the discussion questions are due by midnight on Thursdays, Boulder time. There are 2 required responses to your classmates by Sunday, midnight, Boulder time. If you have questions, there is a Ask the Professor questions forum, and then, as I mentioned earlier, you may also chat with your cohort in the cohort chat room. Also, you may send me an email. I do require academic rigor. This means that you will provide sources for the information that you are sharing in your initial posting for the discussion questions, in your responses to each other, and in all writing assignments. We do have a writing coach, Chris, assigned to the class, and he's very familiar with our assignments as well as my expectations and academic writing formats. We use APA format in this class. We do have a course pack on the Harvard Business Publishing website that is in lieu of a textbook, and then I have embedded content throughout the course. You'll find those in the modules. I also have given you in the Start Here section of the course a listing of all of the readings in one file and your deliverables. But you also find them each week in the modules. Also of note is that you must post first before you can see the other postings of your class members And also, please be sure to check your setting in the discussion thread to be sure that when you make a response that you are not duplicating the original posting of the person to whom you are responding. Just one note regarding why I require the academic dialogue. Um, if we were just exchanging opinions in the class about some of the theory, that would be merely our opinions. While those are important, we want to take our discussion to a higher level and back up our statements, our experiences, our thoughts with the theories that we have been given in the class. Or if you like, you may find additional research and share them. Also, you will share your assignments, all except the final exam. You will share them with each other in the class. I do this because they are always so excellent. Students I have found in this program do terrific professional level work, and I want you to benefit from seeing each other's. You're not required to read every single PowerPoint presentation or the other assignments, but I want you to read enough that you get a flavor, and some of you may be interested in the content and have the time to read all of them, but you will share your assignment so we can create a bit of a learning community. And students in the past have really enjoyed this. It may be different from what they've done in the past, but they've really enjoyed it. My thinking is, why should I be the only one who gets to benefit from the excellent presentations and material? So I hope you enjoyed that aspect of the class. Just a few other items of note as we're getting close to the end of this presentation. You already probably know the norms of behavior and the academic honesty requirements, and those are explained in your syllabus. I do have a late policy that's posted in the classroom, and I do enforce a late policy, so try to get those assignments in on time so I will not have to deduct. It's 10% for the first week an assignment is late and 20% for the second, and I cannot accept an assignment beyond 2 weeks. So also be sure that you send a request if you need an extension. I want to approve any extensions on assignments beforehand. Also, there's a deduction if the initial answers are not posted by Thursday midnight, and no points are given for the participation if it is not completed within the week that it is assigned. I know in some of your classes you have a Wednesday due date on the initial answers. I like to have Thursday to give you a little bit more time, but if you're accustomed to Wednesday, by all means go ahead and post it. Everything in the class except for the final exam is open. You may look ahead, you may work ahead, so feel free to do that. Just one note about some of the reading material. I hope that you won't discount the value of an article that I have chosen for you only because of its publication date. Some of the articles I've included you may or may not have been exposed to, such as some of the theories about motivation. In some cases, the articles that I have shared with you report seminal work, meaning it is the first author or authors to have published about a certain theory. If you're already familiar with a theory or concept, by all means don't waste your time in reading it. Also, some of the articles in the Harvard Business Publishing course pack are marked as optional, so you will not have to purchase those if they're not of interest to you or if you already know the material. You'll see that I've provided you with a digital file, as I've mentioned, that lists all of the weekly deliverables and the readings. And you'll see that in the Start Here section of the Canvas classroom. Some find it helpful for keeping track of what they need to read or to plan ahead. Some weeks are rather robust with readings, so do plan ahead. Some of you may rather find it helpful to print out all of your articles and put them in a binder or in folders. That's actually what I do, so I can keep track of all of the articles by week. And that way, when you see how large the stack is, you'll know how much time you'll need to set aside for the reading. Others, however, um, will put all of the articles in a digital file, and still others do nothing in that regard, but they just use they just read the articles online as they come up. To me, it doesn't matter what you do as long as you have a plan. If you don't have a plan in this class, you might get behind, or you may find that you have a lot of reading to do when also an assignment is due. So please please plan ahead. So we have come to the end of this beginning presentation. I hope that you have found it helpful, and I hope that you will now go to the Start Here segment of the classroom, review the syllabus, take the syllabus exam, which is due the first week, and there is a point writing on that, and introduce yourself. I know that you most likely know each other pretty well by now, but I am meeting you for the first time. So please introduce yourself, and I look forward to seeing you online. Take care. Enjoy the course.